TFI, CFI.
Good evening, everyone. Leave These Forces is my name. A new brand on the work. Our major emphasis is to endeavor that fellow youth will move together in the next financial bull run. As we see the rise of 2023 global inflation and the de-dollarization state, plus the rise of a new empire through the BRICS nations or the BRICS bloc, leading to the rise of the BRICS currency, each one brick equating to 55 US dollar for each one BRICS currency. That implies that most of the countries in the BRICS bloc are going to be much more valuable compared to the countries in the NATO bloc. How can we differentiate this? Is that this is leading to the rise of blockchain. Why? The BRICS bloc is supremely led by Russia, China, Brazil, India, South Africa. And if you look onto China, Russia, and India, those are some of the countries that are highly at a competitive stage compared to those of NATO countries. And also still, Russia is a number one leading, highly ranked, sanctioned nation by the NATO bloc. To simplify this, Russia had to get a penetration through which they can overcome the challenges. One of the challenges that we are facing, that they were cut off from the SWIFT network. I've been talking about that in the previous videos, in the previous explanations, and I'll stick to it because it is the core value as to why the finances, the global finance is concerned. I'm also still on top of that, Russia, in order to recap the sanctions that were imposed to it by the NATO countries, most especially by that fucking that nigger. So they were highly sanctioned to the extent that they couldn't do any more trade through their banks or the banking system network of the SWIFT. The SWIFT network is under the World Bank and highly supreme or highly governed and controlled by the US country. So in one or the other, Russia had to find another way in order to recap the finances and highly boost its economy and banks that are back way in Russia. So what did they do? They decided to go into digitalization. They decided to go into blockchain. And just of very recent, in the previous 3 days, Mr. Putin the Great from Russia, the Russian leading president, we call him now the Putin the Great of all nations. Why? He is the only gentleman behind the success of humanity and behind the success of third world countries, mostly African countries. I'll explain that in a nutshell. So, in a nutshell, Russia decided to go with blockchain system. Why? Blockchain system is highly decentralized. I repeat, it is decentralized. There are two aspects in this avenue of finance, in the new tech of finance. There is centralized and decentralized. Centralized, just like the system of WorldCoin. That's why I tell people, don't go in for OneCoin to scan your eye. They're taking away your data. This eye connects direct to your soul. And this eye highly collects data from your medulla oblongata through the eye, and it is taken. That implies that in the nearby future, once CBDCs are introduced, all those that were scanned by the eye, all their data shall be resold to governments. That's why they're giving you the $200, $100. They are not giving it to you for free. They're going to sell that particular data they are taking out from your eye to the government for the centralized system. The centralized system will work in a way that they can easily manipulate what you spend on. They can easily manipulate what you earn, and they can easily limit you on your expenditure in a way that you have jurisdictions in which you are supposed to spend your money through. That is through the centralized system. And the centralized system, there's no government that has ever wished for any system minus looking onto tax correction. So in the centralized system, it will be highly manipulated by the governments. Let's talk about the decentralized system. The decentralized system that Russia is going to use is that one has total capacity and authenticity for control of the assets and digital assets in his particular portfolio, if it is in the decentralized mechanism of tech or finance. So there is decentralized finance, that is totally individual control. Not even the government, not even the spies, not even the hackers can hack the decentralized. Neither can they hack the centralized. But the centralized is on the side of the government. And the side of the government, you know. So that's why we love Russia. And our company will